YouTube. It's IG. Good morning. It's Monday. Um, Hope everybody had a great weekend. And I'm finding something. There's a couple things that I think is really interesting. Here, let me adjust this. Um, the first thing I want to talk about is, my latest video when I talk about um, having faith in science. Um, because it's not, first-hand information. You have to believe what they're saying. And what I'm finding really interesting is that people aren't really debating the actual topic. What they're doing is they're arguing the examples I gave. Just the for instances, you know, to kind of keep people from going off on these tangents. I purposely gave these examples. Now, if you want, I can give different examples other than the bloodletting as, medicine being wrong. If you want, I could come up with one in the last, 20 years, you know, that'll have nothing to do with, the ancient church or the scientific method. It'll just be an example of science being flat wrong. And it happens. So stop arguing these little petty tangents and let's stick to the actual topic. I wasn't looking to argue with anybody. I was looking just to pose a thought experiment, just to get you thinking that, hey, you know, human beings generally aren't really that smart. A lot of us would like to think that we're these brilliant creatures, but we're really not. We're really still kind of a barbaric, greedy, flesh-oriented, um, two-timing, backstabbing, conniving, lying species, obsessed with fame and fortune and power. You know, yes, there are few of us, and hopefully a growing number of us that are detaching from those ways and becoming more concerned with the future and mankind as opposed to oneself. But I just think you guys are, by arguing these little tangents, you're really kind of just proving my point that you're closed-minded. You don't want to think about the fact that even if you believe in science, you have to have a little bit of faith because you're arguing moot points that weren't really meant to be argued. They were just examples. And like I said a moment ago, I can bring up other examples if that makes you feel better. Anyway, I just wanted to point that out. The second thing that I want to talk about is I'm going to start doing pieces on a YouTube guy named Gluteus Illuminatus. I'm going to put a link to his channel in the Wonder Bar, and you can go watch his videos. And what I'm going to do is, after studying a number of his videos, I've noticed something. He has a very unique way, or a very sarcastic way, of so-called debunking creationism, religion, the concepts of God and creation and the universe. He's got lots of these circular reasoning, thought patterns. They're really very circular. And I'm going to point out that he doesn't really have an answer. He doesn't have his own ideas of what the truth is. I've asked him, And he answered me with a question. He asked me, well, what do I think? Well, I'm like, well, dude, you know what I think. I'm a theist, right? Or you get the gist of what I think. I asked him directly, well, okay, if that's impossible according to you, then what's your explanation? He can't answer me. So I'm going to make a, a series of videos where I go through his videos and I'm going to show you his argument and then I'm going to ask him, well, what does he think the answer is? And I'm doing this purely out of curiosity. I would really like to see if this gentleman actually has his own ideas or if he's just obsessed with shooting down theistic explanations. I think I know what we're going to discover, but let's see what happens. So, if anybody has any videos of his or anybody else's that does a lot of shooting down of ideas, and you would like to know, well, what and if that's not the explanation to them, if you want to know, well, what do they think the explanation is, let me know, and I'll ask the question because I would really like to, instead of hearing all this repetitive jargon about how God can't be outside of the universe and all that, who created God, all these very circular questions, all these very typical questions that atheists ask. I want to ask them, okay, what do you think is the explanation? What is your theory? What do you believe to be the truth? Because I'm tired of hearing them tell us what isn't true, but they never tell us what is true. Is it just me? Or do they spend an awful lot of time telling us, well, it's not like this, but they never say, well, it is like this? Because to me, logically, that would follow. If they are so positive that it's not this way, then they must know how it is to have made that assumption. Or are they just saying it's not like that because they don't want it to be that? I don't know. Let's find out. Have a great Monday. Watch out for my next video. It will be a Gorilla Vision to GI's latest video. Have a great Monday. Don't work too hard. And I'll see you on the next one.